So, good afternoon, everyone. To start our review on environmental and sustainable development that is under on the forest governance and social forestry, we will going to um, tackle later the different questions under sustainable and environmental development, but I have decided to include it in the forest governance and social forestry review because konti lang naman yung mga questions that been asked in the board exam regarding on that specific topic na madadaanan din natin mamaya. But to help you, to thoroughly help you in your review, kasi one of your concern also is the governance. Kaya sabi ko, isama ko na lang dun yung mga ibang concept ng governance to really help you in preparing for the board examination. So we will going to start with the question number 1. And the question number 1, it was asked, Republic Act 10121 is otherwise known as. So what is Republic Act 10121? So 10121 is the Philippine Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Act of 2010. Climate Change Act naman is RA 9729, and the Philippine Standard Time Act is RA 10535. So the answer here is letter D, Philippine Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Act of 2010. So as a technique on how you will going to memorize the different policies or the different policies under the forest governance, I guess during my time na nagre-review ako, and I was also giving this technique or strategy to my students before. I always telling them to categorize Republic Act, Executive Order, Republic Act, Executive Order, Presidential Decree, Letter of Instruction, and the DAO or the Department Administrative Order into different table para hindi kayo malito when you are doing the memorizing the different policies. So that's it. I hope you will going to adopt that one so that mas madali ninyong ma-memorize yung different policy that you will going to encounter sa mismong board exam. So number 2, as defined by the DENR, it means the technical definition. Forests are lands with an area of more than 5 hectares and a tree crown cover of more than 10%. The trees should be able to reach the minimum height of 3 meters at maturity. So, bakit ito both statement are false? Kasi yung first statement, dito banda, this one hanggang dito, dapat ang area or the minimum hectareage of a forest to be considered it as a forest, so sa technical definition, is 0.5 hectares, while the minimum height of the forest is 5 meters. So hindi po siya 3 meters. So the answer here is 5 and 0.5. So that is the technical definition on how we will going to define a forest. That's why the answer here is letter D. Okay, we're going to proceed. I hope you understand. We're going to proceed to number 3. Sabi dito, PD or Presidential Decree number 387, otherwise known as the Forestry Reform Code of the Philippines, and was revised in, kailan daw nag-revise yung 389, which is the Forestry Reform Code of the Philippines. Kailan daw ito na-revise? Ito ay na-revise noong 1975 nung nag-start yung PD 705. Implementation of the PD 705. Kaya 389 is revised during the full implementation of the PD 705 or the Revised Forestry Code of the Philippines. Okay? So we'll move to number 4. In the broad sense, it means growing annual crop between a row or a rows of a tree. Ito daw ay pagpapagrow ng mga annual crop between sa row ng tree. Is it contour farming? Ang contour farming po ay yung pag-till mo on a land in a sloping area. While agroforestry naman, it is composed of cropping of flora and fauna in the same area. So, hindi po siya pwede. Alley cropping is the best answer for mixing annual crops between the rows of the tree. That's why letter C is the correct answer. Letter D, interplanting is a crop with another crop. So, pag a certain crop entered by another crop is interplanting. So, we'll have number 5. All except 1 are classification of agroforestry system based on the nature of component. So, there are different, as I've mentioned, agroforestry is a combination of the flora and fauna on the same area. And if we were going to classify the components of the agroforestry system, it is been called as agri-silvicultural, which is a composition. When we say agri, ito po ay crops. Silvi is for trees, kaya agri-silvicultural. Kaya dalawa po ito. Plus, dito naman po, complex agroforestry system, pinagsama-sama na po lahat. Silvi, sabi ko nga sa inyo, tree, and pasture naman is animals. So, trees plus animals is silvipastoral. Ito naman pong complex agroforestry system, pinagsama-sama na po natin yung aqua, silvipastoral, agri-silvipastoral in a certain area. Kaya part din po siya ng concept ng agroforestry. So, overlapping, when we say overlapping, certain area is overlap or nag-merge in another area. So, overlapping, hindi po siya agroforestry concept because overlapping is a problem encountered by our mga reforestation areas, just like the NGP, ENGP, CBFM, kaya hindi po siya part ng agroforestry classification. Okay. So, we'll move to number 2, number 6. Salt or concept of salt is one of the modification of the original sloping agricultural land technology. Which means, so nahahati po pala sa 4 na classifications. Yung salt. We have salt 1, which is the sloping agricultural land technology. We have the slope 2, salt 2, salt 3, salt 4, and salt. No, wait for a while. Livestocks, agri-fruit, small agri-fruit livelihood technology. It's salt 4. Livelihood is salt 4, so salt 2 is this one, and where is the one here? Okay, this is 1. Mali ito. This is 1. Okay, ito po yung classifications ng sloping agricultural land technology. Number 1, or salt 1 is sustainable agroforest livelihood technology. Salt 2 is simple agro-livestock technology. Salt 3 is sustainable agroforest land technology and small agri-fruit livelihood technology. So the best answer here is letter B. Okay? Kasi nga, 1 is this one, 2 is this. 3 is the agroforest. And 4 is this one. The answer po natin dito is letter B. We'll move to number 7. To be able to take the forester licensure examination, or para po tayo maging isang ganap na forester, the applicant must be a citizen of the Philippines. He or she must be graduated of the 4-year course in forestry or its equivalent from an educational institution in the Philippines or abroad. So what is the answer here? Applicant must be a citizen of the Philippines. That is correct. Or he must be a graduate of 4-year course. The answer here is the first statement is correct. Equivalent to the educational institution in the Philippines or abroad. Hindi po ito pwede. Kasi yung forester's licensure examination naman po natin ay para lamang sa mga people living in the Philippines. So the answer here is letter A. Okay. As we already discussed this one, the small agri-fruit livelihood technology, if we were going to compare this in the upper portion, number 6, the answer here is letter D, SALT 4. Okay. So for number 9, example of a positive interaction between the tree and agricultural components of agroforestry. So, example of positive interaction, ibig sabihin result between the tree and the agricultural component of agroforestry. Sabi dito, letter A, trees draw nutrients deep in the soil into the surface through litter fall. So, ibig sabihin, kumukuha daw ng nutrients yung kahoy sa mga trees as a soil that nakukuha din ng soil sa mga litter fall ng kahoy. So, the answer is letter A. Okay? Kasi hindi naman pwede letter B kasi it states in letter B that trees draw water in the water table for use by agricultural crops. So, hindi pwede kasi nga interaction between a positive interaction between the trees and the agricultural component. Hindi din po pwede letter C kasi trees block sunlight in agricultural crop. If nag-focus naman po tayo sa trees and the agriculture to stay wet in the most of the day. So, hindi po siya pwede. We are looking also for a positive interaction. Kaya hindi po siya nagiging positive somehow on the interaction. We'll move to number 10. Which of the following is not an attribute of agroforestry? Not. Dito po makikita po natin na not attribute. Alin po ba daw yung hindi attribution ng agroforestry? Sabi dito, the practice of the increased yield and services per area. It is the system is consistent with the cultural patterns of the local community. Or the practice is consistent with sound ecological principle. Ito pong tatlong ito, if you were going to notice, these are a positive attribute of a agroforestry. But letter A is not an attribute of agroforestry because only trees are produced either simultaneously or sequentially on the same unit of land. Kasi nga po, ibig sabihin ng forestry, it's a combination of flora and fauna on the same area. If we were going to understand, kung trees lang yung nakatanim sa area, hindi po ito isang attribution ng agroforestry. Okay, we're going to proceed to number 11. Sige, number 11. The Forest Product Research and Development Institute under what agency? Yung Forest Product Research Development Institute, under ano po siya na agency? Is it a DNR? Is it the DOST? Is it the UPLB or the PICARD or the Philippine Council for Agriculture, Aquatic and Natural Resources Research and development. So the answer here is letter B. Because if you were going to look at here in the DOST 7 Researches and Development Institute, nandito po yung hinahanap natin na Forest Product Research and Development Institute. Kaya po siya under po siya ng DOST. Okay, sige. Or the Department of Science and Technology. So, pakitandaan na lang po yung other 7 development and research institute at various field. Baka po, ito yung lumabas sa board exam. Just familiar with the other 6 various fields. Okay, so we're going to proceed to number 12. So, sabi dito, the Philippine Clean Water Act is of 2004 is what we called, is it RA 8275? 8275 is the National Technology and the Vocational High School in Barangay Barong-Barong hindi na po ito. No, panggulo na lang po ito. RA 9725, hindi din po yan. RA 9272, panggulo din po ito. Kasi kung titingnan nyo, that is the act of establishing Nueva Vizcaya State University in the province of Nueva Vizcaya by integrating the Nueva Vizcaya State Institute of Technology in the municipality of Bayumbong. So the answer here is RA 9275. Okay, so we will going to proceed to number 13. In clean development mechanism, it refers to the direct human-induced conversion of non-forested land to forested land through planting, seeding, or the human-induced promotion of natural seed source, or land that was forested but that has been converted to non-forested land. So, ano ang ibig sabihin? Eto. I have already discussed this to you last night, that when we say afforestation, it is also still a planting activity in the area in which you are doing planting activity in the area that is not a forest area before. Kumbaga, nung pagka-start pa lamang ng implementation ng project, wala pa talaga siyang, or hindi siya forest. Or hindi siya before naging forest. Unlike sa reforestation, ito na po ay denuded forest. Ano ibig sabihin ng denuded forest? Naubos na yung kahoy in the area because of the human activities happened or conducted in the area. Kaya nasira ang forest. That's why we are doing tree planting in the area. We called it reforestation. If you can remember during our last night topic. And plantation establishment is you are establishing a plantation. When we say regeneration or assisted natural regeneration, diba sabi ko sa inyo, when it is a assisted natural regeneration, we are not actually adding trees in the area. We are just assisting the trees in the area. Ibig sabihin, ina-assist lang natin or tinutulungan lang natin yung mga species na nandoon sa area para mag-grow sila. Hindi ibig sabihin na naglalagay tayo ng another species in the area. Because if that happens, that is another concept. We called it as a, what do you call that one? It is a enrichment planting. So therefore, the answer would be, in this question, would be reforestation. Kasi human-induced in a non-forested to forested area. So, ibig sabihin is reforestation. Okay? Sige. We're going to proceed to number 14. I hope you get it because we already discussed it, that specific concept. Number 14. The process whereby pollutants are taken up, retained, concentrated in the cells of the plant or animals. Ano po yung ibig sabihin nito? It is the process by which pollutants or yung mga pollutants in the air are taken up or retained or concentrated. Nag-study lang on a cell of a plant or animal. If we were going to understand this, the choices, meron tayong biomagnification. Meron din tayong bioaccumulation. Dahil we're talking here about the plants and the animals. So possible, these two are possible the right answer. Diba? If we were going to understand deeply, biomagnification is defined as accumulation and transfer. No? But the question here ay paano po ang concept pag na-retain or na-concentrate yung pollutants sa mismong sa cell ng plant or animal? So, our answer here is bioaccumulation. Okay. Okay, we'll proceed to number 15. So, for number 15, the stocking by trees of a land to be the stocking by trees for a land to be classified as forest based on FAO, or the Food and Agricultural Organization. This is our basis in which we technically define the forest here in the Philippines. Sabi doon, a forest, ano nga kanina? Yung coverage or hectarage ng forest is, again, 0.5 hectares and above. And it has a stocking, or yung stocks in a 0.5 hectares of land is 10% and above. So the answer here is letter B. That is the technical definition of a forest based on Food and Agriculture Organization. Okay, so we'll proceed to number 16. So the collection of physical, environmental, and economic and social factors that affect the cropping enterprise. Ano po daw yung collection of physical, environmental, and economic and social factor? Is it ecosystem, the farm system, biophysical system, or agroforestry system? So possible our answer here is agroecosystem. Kasi nga, it is a combination of a physical, environmental, and economic and social factors. Okay, we're going to proceed to number 17. As provided by 1987 Philippine Constitution, the legislative body is authorized to determine the specific limits of the forest. Sino nga ba ang nagbibigay ng specific limits on the forest and national park? Is it the DNR legal team? Is it the House of Representatives? Or is it the Congress or the Senate? So, the answer here is the Congress. The Congress are the ones who determine the specific limit of a forest land or a national park. Kasi yung Congress is the one who actually makes the law. So sila din yung nagbibigay ng limits on a specific forest area. Okay? Sige. I hope you get it. We were going to proceed to number 18. Number 18, allowing the crop to lie idle, either tilled or untilled. So, magpahinga muna daw yung crop, yung area. Is it kung natamnan mo siya or hindi mo natamnan during the whole or the greater portion of the growing season. No? Pagpahingahin mo muna siya, inactive, not use. No? The answer here is fallow. We also consider that as other word what we use is improved fallow. Improved fallow. Same lang po siya ng fallow or ng fallow period. Fallow period. When we say recovery period, ito naman po yung time needed to recover the area para sa isang crop. Pag sinabi naman natin zero tillage, wala talaga tayong tinatanim sa area. Sabi dito, may tanim or walang tanim. Pero nagpapahinga that is fallow. Alley cropping, it is a cropping on a row. That's why it's alley cropping. We'll have number 19. Sabi sa number 19, renewal of forester professional license is done in every. Kailan ba daw tayo nagre-renew ng license natin? Remember when you are taking the forester licensure examination, make sure to put yourself on a situation na kayo ay isa na ang forester. Kasi renewal of forester professional license is done, kailan daw ito nangyayari? Is it 5 years, 2 years, 3 years, or yearly tayong nagre-renew? The answer is 3 years. And you need to have 15 CPD points for you to renew your license. Okay? CPD. Okay, we're going to proceed to number 20. Sabi dito, who is approving authority of the community-based forest more than 30,000 hectarage? Management agreement covering 300,000 hectares. So the answer is Secretary of the DNR. Okay? So we'll have number 21. RA 9147 is also known as 9147. Basically, it is a Wildlife Resource Conservation and Protection Act of 2001. Chainsaw Act naman of 2002 is RA 9175. We have also the Philippine Plant Variety Protection Act of 2002, RA 9168, and we have National Cave Management and Protection Act of 2001, RA 9072. So the answer here is letter C. For number 22, it is a body of written and unwritten rules, usages, customs, and practices traditionally and continually recognized, accepted, and observed by the respective ICCS or the indigenous cultural communities and the indigenous people. So the answer is customary law, because it is written and unwritten rules of the ICC or the IP. So communal law, it is a managing forest in a specified community. So the answer here is letter D. Okay, so we'll proceed to number 23. All are the elements and the definition of indigenous people except A, it is continuously live as an organized community or communally bounded with defined territory. Yes, it is a definition. Pero yung hinahanap natin is except. Letter C, it possesses custom and tradition and other distinctive cultural traits since time immemorial. Yes, ito din ay isang definition ng indigenous people. Retain some or all of their own social, economic, and cultural, political, institutional over the years. So that is correct. So the answer here is letter B. Recognized by outsider to be generally similar in appearance, such as eye, color, and chin structure. So hindi sabihin na medyo kamukha mo or kawangis mo ang isang indigenous people ay magiging indigenous people ka na. You must have under in an organized community, you share common bonds and with a certain territory to be considered as a indigenous people. Sige, we're going to proceed to so the answer is letter B. Number 24. Species group that commands the highest market price as indicated by the amount of the forest charges. So, sino ba daw yung may pinaka-highest na market price na klase ng kahoy? We have the Yakkal group, we have the premium species, we have the pulpwood and matchwood, or the apitong. So the answer here is premium species. Okay. So I have here also the Philippine mahogany group, or under Dipterocarps. You just check na lang timber groupings or DAO 2000-63. Dito nyo makikita yung lahat ng categorization or groupings of the timber groupings of the different species. So DAO 2000-63, nandoon yung Philippine mahogany group or the PMG under the Dipterocarp. We have here the Philippine red mahogany and the light red Philippine mahogany. So, hindi ibig sabihin ito na Swietenia macrophylla ng mahogany. It is a Philippine red mahogany. So, Philippine mahogany is divided into two. We have the red and the light mahogany. Before, when I do memorize this one, I used to do it RTT and ALB MW. It stands for Red Lawaan, Tanggilit Yaong, Almond, Bagtikan, Mayapes, and White Lawaan. But be careful, you need also to memorize the scientific name of this one, because sometimes, or most of the time, yung lumalabas sa board exam ay yung scientific name yung mismong species. Hindi yung common name niya. So, just visit this one and rewrite the familiar with the DAO 2000-63, that is the timber groupings and in the Philippines, so that you can able to familiar what are the types of the timber groupings here in the Philippines. So we have also the Mangga Chapoy, Talingdingan, Gisok-Gisok, Mangga Chapoy, Mindanao Narik, and Narik. But others, hindi ko na nailista. I have here also, kasi yung answer dito, if we were going to go back, yung may highest market price is the premium species. How it considered as a premium species kasi nga it has a unique features or of a specific tree. So meron tayong 20 na different premium species, which is also found in the DAO 2000-63. But I have written the 20 premium species. This is very also important because you will not just be needing this one in the policy, but also in the forest utilization subject. As you can see, we have Akli, Almasiga, Apanit, down to the Supa and the Tik. So again, you memorize the scientific name, including the common name, because yung mga lumalabas nga sa board exam ay mga scientific name. So, okay, we're going to proceed to number 25. As used in RA 7160, or otherwise as the Revised Forestry Code of the Philippines. There is, for forest charges, no? FOB means, anong tawag dito? Tinatawag itong free on board. It is shipping term whether the seller or the buyer will be responsible in ensuring the goods. Shipping term pala ito. Yung free on board of the lumber that you were going to buy. So, tandaan, it is free on board. Okay. We'll move to number 26. Sabi dito sa 26, Earth Day was founded in 1970 in the United States. Senator from Wisconsin to promote conservation and environmental issue. It was observed yung Earth Day daw. Sige, ganito na lang. I will be giving you the list of Republic Act, RA, and DAO, and also the different environmental celebrations that we have here in the Philippines for you also to familiarize kasi lumalabas din yan sa board exam. So the answer here is April 2022. So according to the number 27, according to the Constitution, all other natural resources shall not be alienated with the exception of which type of the land. So lahat daw, when we say alienated, hindi pa, shall not be alienated. When we say alienated, mapuyan. Dili man daw pwede mapuyan. According to the Constitution, all other natural resources shall not be alienated. Hindi daw pwede mapuyan. Forest land, dili. Coastal and beach, dili. Mineral land, hindi. Only agricultural land can be alienated. Pero ang tinatanong dito is cannot be. So the answer here is agricultural land. Sabi naman sa alienated, it can be legally occupied, owned by private. So, agricultural land. So, number 29, the norms and conduct of every Filipino forester is governed with A. Forestry Code of the Philippines, Code of Ethics of the Filipino Forester, Sustainable Forest Act, or DNR Code of Conduct. So, the answer here for the Philippine foresters, the answer is letter B, the Code of Ethics of the Filipino Forester. If you don't have the copy of this one, kasi most of the questions are makukuha doon sa Code of Ethics of Filipino Forester, I will also give you a copy of this one. Sige. Number 29, what section of the Constitution states that all the land of the public domain, water, mineral, coal, petroleum, and other minerals, oils, all sources of potential energy, fisheries, forest, or timber, wildlife, flora, and fauna, and other natural resources are owned by the state. So, ang answer is Section 2, Article 12, or the Regalian Doctrine. So, just be familiarized with the different provisions or articles related to environment in the Philippine Constitution, because that will be part of the licensure examination. So for the Regalian Doctrine, it's stated in Section 2, Article 12. Okay, number 30. The DNR is... Sige, erase ko muna ito para makita ninyo. So the DNR is using a technique in monitoring the NGP. You know NGP, right? NGP is National Greening Program. Sabi doon sa National Greening Program to plant 1.5 billion of trees to 1.5 million hectare of land in the span of 6 years from 2011 to 2016. The site across the country, which involves adding geographical identification of metadata to photos taken into the project area. Anong ibig sabihin nito? Metadata or those data that is actually gathered using phones with coordinates. So, anong answer nito? The answer is geotagging. When we say GPS tracking, ito yung gumagamit tayo ng GPS or Global Positioning System to track or to survey the area. When we say digitizing, it means to convert the physical map, images, or other analog information into digital format. So, if you have this map and then you will going to digitize, you can able to get the area of the actual area using the images which is printed, or the image that being print. So we have also georeferencing. This means aligning or matching the map or an image into the real geographic coordinates. So that is georeferencing. So the answer here is geotagging. number 31. When was the National Greening Program launched? Kailan po daw na-launch yung National Greening Program? So, I have already discussed this to you. That is on February 24, 2011 to be exact. That is February 24, 2011. Sabi nga doon, again, sa National Greening Program, the purpose of the National Greening Program is to plant 1.5 billion of trees to a 1.5 million hectare of a land from the year 2011 to 2016. Sige. While the NGP, it started in 2017 to 2028. Bakit nga ba natin create ang ENGP? It's because of the low survival rate of the National Greening Program. Kaya to augment the project at maging successful yung implementation ng National Greening Program, we go back on the area which has a low survival rate. So the answer is that is the concept of the Enhanced National Greening Program. Okay. So we'll proceed to number 32. Sige. The Industrial Forest Management Agreement is contract entered into by and between the DNR and a qualified applicant, wherein the DNR grants on the latter exclusive right to develop, manage, and to protect and utilize the specified area of forest land and forest resources. So the answer here is it a joint venture? Is it a license? Is it a production sharing? Or is it co-production? So again, when we say production sharing, it is a profit sharing. Ibig sabihin, pag, for example, you have a 1 hectare of land and you earned 500,000 pesos. You will going to profit share the income. That is the concept of profit sharing or production sharing. When we say co-production, ibig sabihin, you are just renting. For example, if you have 1 hectare and you earned 500,000 on that 1 hectare, and you have only rental of 10,000 lang ibibigay mo sa gobyerno, that is co-production. Example of production sharing is IFMA, while in the SIFMA, in the co-production is SIFMA, or other term, it is called as rental. Okay, so the answer here, the Industrial Forest Management Agreement or IFMA. So answer is profit sharing. Okay, kasi ito ito yung keyword dito. We'll have number 33. Okay, I hope you get it. Basta tandaan nyo lang na if it is profit sharing, it is a IFMA because it is production sharing. Ibig sabihin, kung ano yung na-produce, yun yung napaghahatian. When we say co-production, kung ano yung rental lang, kahit mag-income ng malaki, yung rental lang yung babayaran. Yung consequences dito is, for example, pag hindi ka nakapag-produce in a certain area dahil rental siya, kahit hindi ka nakapag-produce in this, for example, in this specific years, you need to pay because the concept is rental basis. Okay? Sige. We'll move to number 33. The liquid usually rainfall that seeps into the landfill and is frequently contaminated by materials dissolved from the waste in the landfill. Ano ang ibig sabihin nun? Effluent is wastewater or liquid waste that flows out from the treatment plant or industrial outflow. So, it is a liquid. Pwede siya. Pero, hinahanap kasi natin dito in a landfill. When we say leak, ito yung unintended escape of the liquid gases. Hindi mo, wala ni mo gituyo, pero nakagawas ang certain liquid. Yun ang leak. When we say leachate, it is a liquid percolate through the solid and extra substances for harmful beneficial form. Kaya, since landfill ay makaka-destroy ng health ng tao, that's why it is leachate. Sludge is a semi-solid material. So, hindi lang siya liquid, pero may kasama siyang debris from industrial water treatment and sewage treatment processes. Kaya, hindi siya pwede maging answer. The answer here is leachate. Okay. We'll move to number 34. So, sabi dito, who among the following member of the local community organization are not included among the qualified participants under the community-based forest management as provided by DAO 9627? DAO 9627 is the implementing rules of regulation of the community-based forest management program. Sabi dito, government employee even if they have the consent of the head of the office are not included, ha? So, sino po ba daw hindi included in the CBFM program? Si government employee, even if they have consent on the head of the office, those actual tilling portion of the CBFM site, those traditionally utilizing the resources for all of the substantial portion of their livelihood. Kumbaga, yung nakatira ba sa CBFM site, yung nag-utilize na ba nung CBFM site, for those area residing with the adjacent or sa gilid nung area. Sinong hindi kasama? Hindi ba kasama yung government employee kahit binigyan na siya ng consent ng head niya na sumama to be included in the program of CBFM? So, the answer here is letter A. Kasi again, people working in the government agencies are not entitled to receive any project from the government because it is a conflict of interest. So the answer here is letter A. What issuance dated May 18, 1996? The prescribed guidelines and procedures of the prospecting of biological and genetic resources in the Philippines. So, if you are going to look at the Executive Order 246, it's all about the guidelines and procedures of bioprospecting. That's why our answer here is Executive Order 247. Okay. We'll move to number 38. Sabi dito, DNR Memorandum Circular 2008-04 implements what major DNR program? Sabi ba dito, is it the Task Force Kalikasan? Is it 2009 Upland Development Program? Kabalikat sa kalikasan, recognition, documentation, registration, and confirmation of all sustainable traditional and indigenous forest resources management system and practices. So, DNR Memorandum Circular 2008-04 is Upland Development Program, while DAO 2008-01 is Task Force Kalikasan. Okay. We'll move to number 37. Not among the requirement of the registration, original or new application of the chainsaw. Alin po ba daw yung hindi kasali sa mga requirement nung renew ng registration or pag-registered ng chainsaw, even if it's new or renewal. Is it the registration fee? Syempre, kailangan ito. Is it the duly accomplished form? Yes. Is it the detailed specification of the chainsaw? Or is it the photograph of the chainsaw? Bakit letter C ang correct answer? It's because photographs of the chainsaw, hindi naman talaga siya kailangan for the registration. Kasi ang kailangan mismo on the registration of the application or new application of a chainsaw registration is the actual chainsaw. Hindi pwede tayong gumamit ng pictures lang to register the chainsaw. It needs to be bring in the office of the DNR for you to have the registration. Okay, we'll have number 38. So, pursuant to RA 7160 or the Local Government Code of the Philippines, the DNR, the DILG issued the Joint Memorandum Circular or the Manual of Procedure for the DNR, DILG, and the LGU partnership on the devolved and other forest management function. What is this policy? Let's first discuss what is devolution or devolve. When we say devolve is transferring functions from the national office down to the LGU. Ibig sabihin, tina-transfer, when we say devolve, tina-transfer natin yung functions ng DNR to the lower offices. Bakit napag-isipan nilang i-transfer yung mga functions that the DNR had before? Bakit kaya? Because, sabi nila, for efficiency, para mas mabilis marespondihan yung mga illegal activities happening in the area. For example, try to understand. If that certain area ay si regional office yung mag-implement ng function as the one who apprehend yung mga forest products that is illegally collected in the field. Pag abot na to sa site, wala nang illegalista. So the answer would be Joint Memorandum Circular number 1998-01. Kasi dito sinasabi that we should devolve, we should transfer the responsibility from the DNR to the local office or the LGU para mas mabilis maaksyonan ang mga problema. And also, if we were going to try to understand, given the fact that we have a vast area in the Philippines for our forest cover, hindi kaya ng national office na sila lang mismo alone yung mag-protect sa area. Again, I will go back to the concept that protecting the environment is not just a responsibility of the DNR and an environmentalist. It is a shared responsibility between every one of us. Kasi nga sabi doon, lisod po no, nga ako ra maprotektaan ni nga kita mantanan ga puyo sa earth. Diba? So that's why there is a Joint Memorandum Circular number 1998-01. So we have number 39. Which of the following development activity are included in the Upland Development Program? Are included? Yes. Which of the following activities are included? So we have in the Upland Development Program sa mga rural areas, we have reforestation, agroforestry, assisted natural regeneration, upland road rehabilitation, development of urban forest park, enrichment planting. All except for the upland road rehabilitation. Yes. No? Because all of the others are the development activities in the Upland Development Program. Okay? So we have here number 40. The agreement made by the UNFCCC or United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, wherein countries that ratify this protocol commit to reduce their emission of the carbon dioxide and 5 other greenhouse gases and encourage the emission of trading if they maintain or increase the emission of the gases. So this is all about the carbon dioxide emission. So probably the answer here is Agenda 21. Kasi nga yung Agenda 21 is for sustainable development issues, while Bonn Convention focuses on the migratory species. Tandaan na, Bonn Convention focuses on the migratory species. Agenda 21 is focusing on the range of sustainable development issues like carbon emission or carbon sequestration. And we have here the Convention of the Biological Diversity. From its word, biological diversity focuses on biodiversity and sustainable management. When we say Kyoto Protocol, this focus on the climate change issues in the country, in the world. So probably the answer of this question is Agenda 21. Okay. So sinabi dito, Bonn Convention, sabi natin sa Bonn Convention, it is migratory species of birds. It was focused on migratory species of birds. So it was adopted in 1979. Agenda 21 was developed during 1992 Earth Summit and Convention on Biological Diversity was adopted alongside Agenda 21 in 1992, and we have the Kyoto Protocol for the climate change was adopted in 1997 as response to climate change concern. So those are the important dates that you must remember, and the following scope of the different programs. Okay, so we're going to proceed. So you just you can pause it and copy the important information. Okay, we're going to proceed to number 41. From the species grouping, where the rate of the forest charges are based on the FOB or the free on board market price. Again, free on board, who will pay for the transport? Market price, which of the following does not belong to the premium species? Ano nga ba yung hindi na belong sa premium species? I have presented you a while ago the different types of the premium species that can be found in the Philippines, including the Malave, Nara, Tindalo, Ibone, and so on. So patik, and hindi po included yung rain tree. Kasi nga po yung rain tree is considered as invasive species. It is an introduced species here in the Philippines. That's why it is not considered as a premium species, while others that take Tindalo, Malave are part of the premium species. Okay, we're going to proceed to the number 42. So number 42, which of the following is a policy instrument that emanates or origin from the Congress? Ano po ba daw yung policy instrument that was originated in the Congress? So we have here administrative order, we have executive order, we have presidential decree, and we have Republic Act. Executive order, again, it was issued by the president. Kaya hindi po ito. Kasi sabi ay sa Congress daw. When we say administrative order, these are policy issued by the government offices. For example, the DNR. We have the DAO or the DNR administrative order. Here, presidential decree. Ito naman po yung mga policy or that was implemented during martial law. And Republic Act is emanated in the Congress and approved by the President. Kaya the answer po is Republic Act. So the answer is letter D. Okay. We'll proceed to number 43. Okay. A transport agreement between the owner of the forest product and the conveyance is necessary before any transport. Sabi dito, a transport agreement between the owner of the forest land and the conveyance is necessary before the transport. So, kailangan po ng papeles on the forest products that you will going to transport. For example, lumber. Kailangan mo ng certain permit for you to transport the resources. Otherwise, it is called illegal. And also the conveyances. Ibig sabihin, conveyances is the one instrument or vehicle you use for the transport of the logs. And it has to be indicated also in the permit. So that is correct. Well, statement number 2, the transport agreement shall states that understanding the conveyance owner is not to be held liable in the case of illegal transport of the forest product. So that is wrong. Why is it wrong? Because the owner of the conveyance must understand that before he transferred or before he or she transferred the timber or the lumber is part siya ng crime if it is considered as illegal activity. For example, walang permit yung kahoy, then nahuli siya sa kalagitnaan ng travel, magiging held liable yung owner ng vehicle. Hindi pwedeng sabihin na, ay, tag-iyara man pag ko anis ng sakyanan, dili ko apil anis sa kaso apil gihapon. No? That's why the answer is only letter A. Only the first statement is true. Okay? Sige. So this refers to a vegetative structure intended to serve a catchment area for the soil that is eroded in the agroforestry site. Is it a fire line? Is it a boundary? Is it a fire break? Or a hedgerow? Ano ba daw tawag sa vegetation structure intended to serve as a catchment? Ibig sabihin, tagasalo ng mga soil that is eroded in the agroforestry site. So the answer is hedgerow. Bakit hedgerow? Kasi ito yung mga tanim na nilalagay natin for us to mitigate the erosion in the agroforestry site. Ano naman po yung fire line? Ang fire line ay area which intended or which is been made in an area or a forest plantation to prevent the fire. No? Kumbaga, ini-establish natin ang isang fire line on a certain area to prevent the fire. For example, if this is the area, the forest area, you are going to create a fire line, for example. Bakit nga ba po bang kine-create yung fire line? Ibig sabihin, kine-create ang fire line para hindi mag-transfer yung apoy, for example, na sunog dito banda in the first part of your forest plantation. Eto lang masusunog. Kasi nga, naglagay ka dito ng fire line. Ibig sabihin, yung banda dito, hindi na makatawid yung fire para sunugin yung kabila. So, fire line is very, very important. And again, fire line is a man-made creation for the prevention of the fire in the area. When we say fire break, ano man ito? Fire break, it is a man-made. No? It is also to suppress the fire. Okay? So the answer here is hedgerow. Sige, what number of this one? Number 45. It refers to a project that has high potential for significant negative environmental impact. Anong ibig sabihin nito? Ito daw yung mga project in the site that has high potential for significant negative impact. Diba? Projects that was implemented or were implemented in a specific area, meron talaga yung mga negative effect. Just like for example, gasolinahan, minahan, mga planta, all of that project has a negative environmental impact sa environment natin. Pero, may negative impact nga naman pala, ma'am. Bakit hindi na lang i-implement ang project? Kasi hindi man pwede. Kasi i-implement talaga nila. Kasi negosyo man yan. That's why, sabi dito, may mga project talaga na may mga high potential negative impact on the environment. Anong tawag natin sa mga project? Ayun. Diba? Yung mga project that has a negative environmental impact, we conducted environmental impact assessment. If that happens, if we actually issue a certain permit, for example, yung area has a negative impact on the environment. So titingnan natin by the EIA, titingnan natin if kaya ba niyang alin ba yung mas mabigat, yung negative impact or yung positive impact. Pag makita natin na mas malaki yung negative impact of that certain activity in the area, ibig sabihin, hindi natin ipagpapatuloy ang project, or either which, kakausapin natin yung tao or yung maapektuhan na mag-transfer siya and babayaran lang siya ng proponent para matuloy yung project. Pero pag hindi talaga sila mo come up sa decision na mag-agree silang dalawa, walang project na matutuloy. No? So, yun. Ang tawag natin dun ay environmentally critical project. No? Environmentally critical project. So, number 46. It is an office under the DNR which formulates So, in addition, an environmentally critical project, for this project to run or to continue operate, this must have a ECC or Environmental Compliance Certificate para magpatuloy ito sa pag-operate. Otherwise, mapapaklose ito ng Environmental Management Bureau. So, it is an office under the DNR which formulates and recommend policy and programs in the matter relating to environmental management, conservation, and pollution control. So, focus nga ito sa environment management, kaya ang answer dito is Environmental Management Bureau. Environmental Management Bureau. Bakit po hindi po ito Land Management Bureau? Kasi Land Management Bureau is a bureau in the DNR that focuses on the land, while Forest Management Bureau is a bureau in the DNR that focuses on the forest itself. And when we say Ecosystem Research and Development Bureau, it focuses on the ecosystem researches and how you are going to develop the environment. That's why that is letter D, because our main concern here is the environmental management conservation. Number 47. Which of the following was proclaimed as National Park by Republic Act 93-37 in 2003? So the answer is letter C. Lumalabas ito sa board exam. Mount Apo. Republic Act 9239. Again, as I've mentioned before, you need to categorize the Republic Act, Executive Order, the DAO for you to easily memorize the different policies that we have. Okay? Sige. We'll have number 48. The Certificate of the Timber Origin, or the CTO, is issued on a one shipment basis. Ma'am, kailan ba ito lumalabas yung Certificate of the Timber Origin? Kailan ba ito release ng DNR? Again, sabi ko nga sa inyo, we have these two types. Ay, hindi. Sinabi ko pala sa student ko, hindi sa inyo. We have two types of area. Diba? Meron tayong forestal area or yung mga area na intended for forest purposes. Meron din tayong mga area na intended lang for agricultural. We called it alienable and disposable land or A&D. So, pag A&D, yung kailangan natin, or alienable and disposable land, detulado yung yuta, pag ganahan ka mo transport or magpakat og kahoy, you need to have the permit. Diba? For you to cut. Pero sa mga forest land, for example, those are land that intended for forest purposes. Kailangan natin yan ng tenurial instrument. Kasi, unlike the titled property, may titulo yung titled property sa alienable and disposable. Pero sa mga mga forestal areas, kailangan natin ng tenurial instrument. And that tenurial instrument, for you to harvest the resources you planted in the area, kumbaga, you have agreements to the DNR. Either is it profit sharing or rental, depende na sa inyo kung anong makuha ninyo na available na reforestation project in the DNR na gagamitin ninyo yung forestal area. So, in cutting the trees in the area, kasi nga, the trees will get older and you will going to cut it and you harvest it. So, how are you going to harvest it? You get a permit. Pero ano po ba yung permit na binibigay ng DNR? It is called CTO. Hindi siya actually permit. This is certificate of the timber origin. It is a shipment basis only. And it is valid for only 15 days. Yes, correct ito. Excluding Saturday, Sunday, and holiday. So, mali ito. That's why only the first statement is correct. Kasi yung second statement, this one, is wrong ito. Although, yung issuance ng Certificate of Timber Origin is 15 days na ini-issue ng DNR. Pero it includes the Saturday, the Sunday, and the holiday. Bakit po siya, ma'am, include? Kasi nga, we are more lenient, kumbaga. Yung mga foresters working in the DNR is hindi masyadong concerned with the cutting in a forest land which has actually a tenurial instrument. Bakit? Kasi, unlike a title property, dapat malaman mo talaga what is the specific tree to be cut. Kasi nga, ina-avoid natin na baka yung natural regeneration ng mga species yung maputol nila. Unlike sa tenurial instrument or sa mga forestal area na may mga tenurial instrument, okay lang kahit exclude na yung, ay i-include yung Saturday, Sunday, and holiday. Kasi nga, nasa loob naman ng isang tenurial instrument. Kahit ilan pa yung i-transfer nila na kahoy, basta within the Certificate of the Timber Origin, kung asaan yung tenurial instrument ng area, pwede lang. Kaya it includes Saturday, Sunday, and holiday from the date of issuance to after loading in the case of export. And in the case of domestic transport, upon discharge of the point of the destination, whichever it served first. So the answer here is letter A. So number 49, it is a form of agroforestry which combines the agriculture crop, tree crops, and animals in the same unit land. So the answer is agriculture, trees, and animals. That is agri, silvi, pastoral because it includes tree. Pero pag aqua, fishes, silvi, kahoy, and agro is crops and kahoy. Silvi is trees and animals. So the answer here is letter A. So number 50. It refers to the acknowledged claim, privileges, prerogatives, or ownership over the land and natural resources to which one is entitled by reason of law, license, contract, and tradition. So, this is a technical definition of the prior vested right. Kasi when you say usufruct, it involves only the use and the benefit of the property owned by another. For example, CPSU, Central Philippine State University, is under it is a school reservation. So, pag merong pumunta dyan at mag-claim sila na gusto nilang magtanim sa isang area, for example, they want to rehabilitate the area, they will going to execute a usufruct right. It involves the owner and the another and by another, kasi nga under a forest reservation or school reservation yung area. So human rights naman, yung mga rights natin, freedom natin, and protection of a certain individual. And when we say suffrage, it is the right to vote in the election. Okay.